Hi everyone. With this extra time that we have at home, I kind of wanted to put some videos together to remind you of things that we've been working on, or maybe some new things that you haven't heard before. What we're going to do today is we're going to talk about a basic skill, which is the grips, holding the racket when you are playing tennis and hitting different shots. Before I show you the diagrams, I kind of want to show you where we're going to start. When we look at the diagram, we're looking at the racket as if it's straight up and down, like we're shaking hands or we're holding a hammer in our hands. Here's the grip guide for the right-handed player. Starting at the top, like I was saying before, we're shaking hands with the racket, so the racket's going to be straight up and down. Starting at number 1 and going clockwise, we have the continental grip, we have the eastern forehand grip, the semi-western forehand grip, the western forehand grip, and then as we come up and around, we're on number 8, which is our eastern backhand grip. The continental grip, starting and going to number 1, is the grip that we can use for forehands, backhands, serves, volleys, and overheads. For the serve, volley, and overhead, this is the only grip that we're going to use until we start to add a little bit of spin on the serve, which then would take us over to the eastern backhand grip. Moving over to number 2, the eastern forehand grip, this is when we start to add a little more top spin to our ball, and it allows us to bring the ball down into the court more. As we become more advanced players, we start to use the semi-western forehand, which is on number 3. And then number 4, which is the western forehand grip. This is a grip that you usually see only the top players using, typically those that come from clay courts. Now going back up to number 8, this is our backhand grip, which gives us a little bit of spin off of the backhand side. Here's the grip guide for those of you that are left-handed players. Obviously, it is the opposite of what it was for the right-handed player. So starting at number 1, we're going to go counterclockwise this time. And number 1 is our continental grip. Number 8 is our eastern forehand grip. Number 7 is our semi-western forehand grip. Number 6 would be the western forehand grip. And then up and around to number 2 is the eastern backhand grip. With these grips, we, just like I was explaining before, can hit the same kinds of spins, and this becomes very important when we are playing tennis. Now that we know the different kinds of grips that we use when playing, I will explain how to hold the racket with these grips. Alright, now that you've seen the diagrams of where to hold the racket, I'm going to specifically show you where the V of your hand goes. So that's the position between your thumb and your index finger, okay, right there in that little V or that corner. So if you look at it like this, for you guys, that's what you would be seeing. This is how we grab the racket. So if we start on number 1, okay, this is what we call the continental grip. This is the one that we can hit forehands, backhands, serve, volley, and overhead from. This is a position that I always start everyone with so that they can be able to hit all of the shots. This is what we call a beginner grip. Sliding over to number 2, this is an eastern forehand grip. This is where I start to hit with a little bit of spin. Moving over to number 3, this is what we call a semi-western grip. And then here's the one I said you'd never use, which is a full western grip. We're on number 4. Switching over to number 8, this is our backhand grip. So I'm going to go back through all of them so you can kind of see what it looks like when I'm bringing the racket back to hit the ball. So starting in number 1 in the continental grip, I'm here, and as I take the racket back, you can see that my hand is like holding or shaking hands with someone or holding a hammer. When I switch over to number 2, you can see how the racket face slightly turns forward to create some of the top spin. When I go to number 3, you can see how it switches even more to create more spin. And then number 4, which is actually I'm going to be hitting the ball like this with that grip. For the backhand, I'm going to be on number 8, so the V of my hand is here and here. And that allows me to hit with top spin. Now, like I said, the beginner player, backhand is here, forehand is here, volley is here, serve and overhead are all on number 1. I know that I've given you a lot for you to think about with this and on this video. Please let me know if you have questions about it, and I can explain things a little bit more in depth for you. But those are kind of the basic fundamental skills that we need to have. So when we talk about making a transition shot, a ground stroke from the back of the court or very deep in the court, or as we transition to the net and changing that grip more to a continental grip, the reasons why we do that. Thank you and have a good day.